Okay, this one is, we're just going to get into the practicality of expanding your business with a commercial loan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 101. If a small business owner were to go back to school and their first class was, I'm trying to expand and I need to know how do commercial loans work and what is it that I need to know that can make it better for me when I show up. All right. So let's talk about just one thing.
Okay.
We're going to keep it as simple as possible.
Okay. So the first thing that comes to my mind now, I started in banking 21 years ago. And so I've had enough time frame to see the origination of loans and ones that have succeeded and ones that have failed in recessions and that. And so some of the commonalities that really come into place, a good borrower, they know their financials, they know their numbers. Now, I'm not saying they know exactly, they can rely on their they can rely on their accountant, but they know instinctively that by getting this loan, it is going to save them X. It is going to enhance this. They're going to be able to have better purchasing power. They're going to be able to buy equipment that is going to lower their cost of production. They've got that down.
Okay.
And the quickness of it, when they come to an interview and they're applying for a commercial loan, of course, things they're going to ask, the bank's going to ask for a personal financial statement, and they're going to ask for tax returns.
Right.
And historically, the ones that take 3 and 4 months to get that to us and then say, oh, I'm ready to close on this building. I'm ready to close. Like, why didn't you just send it 3 months ago?
Right.
Just get it in as quickly as possible.
Organized with
Absolutely.
all of your information.
So, if you're not organized with your financials, it's going to play in our mind. How are you organized with your business?
Mm-hmm.
So, that all plays into it. So the faster and the clearer I see borrowers provide their financials and, learn how to fill out a financial statement. It's very easy. You can Google what assets are. You can Google what liquidity, and if you're not specifically sure on something, you can make a note. Okay, I do have this asset and write it down. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be clear.
Yeah.
So everything that you can find, get it efficiency, and you'd be surprised of how many things, yes, you can type it online, you can print it, and sometimes it's easier for people to just write it down. That's great. We don't mind that.
Yeah.
You know how many times we get them, we can't read them? I mean, you would think that'd be common sense.
Yeah.
But yes, have clear, or they've scanned it to you and it's upside down and it's here. And it's like, okay, so just quality and clear, consistent efficiency get into it, because I can tell you the ones that get it to you very efficiently in a couple days and right away, they have it readily available. I mean, you're wanting this loan. You've already thought about it. How long have you been thinking about for it?
It's not like it just came to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you not believe they're going to ask for tax returns?
Yeah. So it sounds like from a bank standpoint, these are all red flags. Like if you can't get us something,
well, it's kind of a litmus test,
and it's all disorganized, we can't read it, then how serious are you about actually taking the loan, and how serious are you about your business?
And it does lead, yes, it leads in the quality of how you're conducting daily affairs going forward. So if you're not efficient in that process, how are you going to be efficient in everything else?
That's a great point. I think that's, it's great to note that on the outset, because I'm aware of this a little bit, but like, isn't character or like the client's?
Yeah, you get the typical lending or the 5 C's of lending, and character would be one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that would play into character, I would think, because
Absolutely.
There's a bunch of red flags there if that's all happening.
It does, and that could lead you to lead in more than systems. Now, quality. Yeah, I mean, it goes right through it.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
So then specifically for the borrower, like if we were to say, what makes a good borrower from a bank's perspective? What are the major things that, they need to have be organized with all their stuff, have all their information, so they're definitely not intentionally hiding something, but not unintentionally hiding something, being transparent, to the character part of it. What are some of the other elements that they need to be prepared for?
And understand, how are you going to pay back the loan? Understand your cash flow, what you need to go,
Yeah.
Typically, you want a lower rate, you're going to have already demonstrated ability for cash flow.
Right.
You'll have people come in and say, have a pro forma. I did this pro forma, and they look into, and pro formas really are swag, silly, wild ass guess. we can use that and going forward. But if you think that you're going to come in and you're going to make money right off the bat in your new restaurant, good luck.
Right.
And, it's just the odds are stacked up against you.
Yeah.
So, so your cash flow, definitely, what collateral you're going to put up, have that in mind. Recently we had an interview with somebody and they said, "Oh, I'm not putting up any collateral." Okay, well, this is a brand new business. Bank, we're making a small percentage. We're not a partner. We're not getting 50% of your revenue.
Yeah.
You're coming at us for money. We're happy to lend, but we need to see the ability of repayment. You're a brand new business, so we don't see the ability of repayment. Do you have collateral? No, we're not going to give that. Okay.
You're not really, it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere.
I wish you well,
Right.
let's.
So it's like from the business owner standpoint, they really need to be thinking about what is the bank thinking about when they look at all of my stuff, and almost like weird way to say it, but empathetically, like what would make the bank want to lend to me, right? And having all of your ducks in a row, having some sort of planned collateral, having the ability to repay, all these kind of, again, 101 type of things, just making the time to sit down and look at all of your stuff, which I think a lot of business owners don't look at very often.
Buy a car and you don't have a job and you're going to pay $300, how are you going to pay for that car?
Yeah. What comes to mind is a lot of good entrepreneurs and good CEOs for that matter can end up being very much vision oriented and kind of all over the place, which is why they need a team and they need, to have formation around them, build good quality people around them to support them. So these are good things, I think, for business owners typically to hear, that if you haven't looked at your financials in 3 months, and you don't really know, you have some money in the bank, but you don't really know what your numbers are. You don't know what your cash flow looks like. Maybe you need to go to your accountant or your CPA or, and sit down and have that discussion about, let's look at my actual financial statements and say, how much money is in the bank? How much money is expected to come in? What are all those pipelines look like? So that you're knowledgeable at least, and then they can send over the statements. Then when you meet with the lender, you're actually having a conversation that is thinking about the lender that will be in your best interest.
Absolutely. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, banks, we do not want your collateral. We don't want that. That's a safeguard.
That's right.
But, we're not in there. And we're not going to make predatory loans because we want your collateral. That's called predatory lending. That's a no. When we get audited, they're going to look at that. And if you see a history of banks that, okay, great, we'll lend you 20 grand on this $100,000 piece of collateral, knowing that you make no money and there's no possible way for you to pay it back.
Right.
That's wrong.
That's right.
So you've got to have the ability to repay. How are you going to do that?
Yeah. Okay. Well, what other things do anything else come to mind that would make a good borrower? Just kind of on a, entry level.
Really, those make clear, concise, quality of preparation of work that they provide. Now I'm talking we're in a commercial, like you had mentioned in different, we're boutique. We're going to look at them individually. We're not setting standards and saying, we're going to do this $1 million loan set at an 80% loan to value. Commercial lending is not what people are used to when they're going by a residential home and say, hey, how much payment can I pay?
Yeah.
Here's my W-2, here's what I make.
It's much less of a machine.
Correct.
Yeah.
It is there. So knowing your business, having clear and concise, being able to explain exactly what you're going to do with the money, how you're going to repay it. That's it. That's 101. What collateral did you plan on putting up?
That's awesome. Okay. I like that. That'll be good for this episode. And we'll come back to this topic, maybe 201, and talk about what makes a good lender.